something that I wanted to ask you, on like your personal level is, how did you get involved in building homes? I mean, when I met you, it's been, I think we're probably close to going on 10 years now. I think I've known you around 9-10 years.
Maybe longer than that.
And you've been building, I know you were building homes when I first met you. So how did you get, like, what made you go that direction?
So been in construction and stuff like that pretty much my whole life. I was working at a rental store, renting equipment. We worked around building material, met a lot of builders, seen what they did. Actually went to school for landscape design, horticulture, that type of stuff. Finished that up and did landscaping for like a year. And I said, no, this ain't what I want to do. And ended up getting into flipping houses, rental houses. And that's kind of what got me started into building. And then it just went from there. I decided I was working for a company doing engineered I-joists. My job was to go Raleigh, Charlotte, wherever, and inspect the houses to make sure they were put together correctly. So that's how I got my knowledge. And then I just decided one day, I was like, I'm going to take a step, which was in 2008. Terrible time. Everybody's
not
like,
a good time.
No, everybody's like, you're crazy. You're not going to make it. It's too late. I already did it. And it was slow starting out. But we did rental houses and flips, and that's kind of what kept us going. And then got into building houses, remodeling, and on from there.
Nice. How big was the first house you built?
The first house that I built was the biggest house that I have built. Never built a house.
So you just dove right into it.
Never built a house. Built the biggest house I've built. It was 3,200 square feet with a 600 square foot bonus room. And then it had another room that wasn't finished that was going to be a theater room eventually. And I want to say it was like 600 or maybe even 800 square feet and a detached garage with an attached garage. So, I mean, it was a big house.
And so you hired out somebody to like do all the plans on it and stuff, or did they come to you with the idea of what they wanted, and then you had the architectures design everything? And
they came to me with the land and the plans. They had everything laid out.
Nice.
They said, this is what we want to do, and here we go. And then it wasn't, it wasn't even 6 months. It was probably less than 6 months. I had another family come to me, want me to build another house. And it wasn't little either. It was like a 3-car attached garage, bonus room above that. It was 2,800 square feet.
Jeez.
With a basement. And keep in mind, I had never built a house. I'd been in the construction my whole life. I'd been around it. I'd been through an inspected house. I understood how it worked. But it was kind of, it was a little overwhelming to start with a house that size and never done it before.
Wow.
So, but they took a chance. It worked out great. The house was absolutely beautiful. It was, it had 8-inch knotty pine floors. It had commercial grade vents. It was a beautiful, beautiful house.
Jeez. Yeah. And I'm sure you learned a lot from the first time you built a house. What was tell me a story about, I know you have a lot of them with building and stuff like that. Like what's the craziest shit that's ever happened on the job site or building? Like maybe something, maybe not the craziest, but like what's something that, some of these contractors you worked with, like what was something that maybe even drove you crazy, or maybe something that like a big learning lesson that you had building a house?
So the first house I built, which was the biggest house, I hired a company to come in and do the foundation. The company is reputable. They've done it for years. Mm-hmm. Built this house. We got ready to lay off the mud seal. and we noticed something wasn't right. We hadn't put a transit on it, and we was looking at it, and I said, something's wrong. Something doesn't look right. And we got to looking at it, and the foundation was like 2.5 inches higher on the back of the house, and the piers were the same. The front of the house, the right side of the house, the garage, all that was fine. It was just the back wall. So right out of the gate, first thing we had to do was start correcting. I called them, hey, this is what we got going on. Need to get this corrected. They ended up having to come back, cut the blocks, lower them down on that whole back wall right out of the gate. First house I ever built. To me, that was a major setback because the foundation, in my opinion, is one of the most important things. And to come up and you're I think it was 2 or 3 inches off. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And luckily they stood behind it. They fixed it. They done what's right. They're great people, and I've used them pretty much every house I've built to do my footings and my foundation. Great work.
That's awesome.
Just an oops in the beginning there.
Yeah.
But one of my buddies worked for him. That's how I met him. And he's one of the best footing guys there's ever been. I've seen a lot. He is phenomenal what he can do.
That's crazy. I would think, that's the most important thing. Like right out the gate. Mm-hmm. Like that stuff has to be dead perfect in order to finish off the rest of the stuff. Because then, like this shop, we found out that there were some spots where it was just a little off on I guess it'd be the foundation here.
Yeah.
And obviously we can work around it, but